All right, you want to hear some false outrage?
Why not?
More false outrage?
Sure.
Here we go.
Okay.
Roman Sparkman.
Roman Sparkman?
It's Rolman. Roman.
Roman Sparkman.
Yep.
White guy?
And his girlfriend, Ariana Brown.
Definitely white woman.
Yes.
Okay.
Are the reason people feel the need to constantly remind black folks everything is not racist.
Okay.
The Austin, Texas couple caused a waiter to lose his job because he identified them as black people on their receipt at the IHOP.
Are they black people?
They are black people.
Okay.
The kicker,
Yeah.
Ariana and Roman are black. And so is the former waiter, Dwayne Williams.
So the black guy said the black couple at table 3
Correct.
ordered pancakes.
Correct.
And he got fired.
He did. Because it was on the receipt under the notes that said black people.
So what? It didn't say naughties, for God's sake.
Nope, it didn't.
Jeez.
So what, pray tell, is the problem?
Mm-hmm.
My guess is paranoia and false outrage.
Yeah. The word false.
False outrage.
Yep.
Ariana is one of those. Ariana is the one who noticed the labeling on the receipt and pointed it out to her boyfriend.
Yeah.
When the media reached out to her about the incident, she asked, "What does this mean? Are you going to do something to my food or my card?"
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, so this is yeah, there it is. The AOR Rocks put it in the chat room.
Oh.
The actual picture of the receipt.
Now that I see what time it is, maybe it was good to label. LOL.
Roman's dramatic response to the receipt was no better as he posted, "People are being racist, and it's your own people being racist toward you for no reason." That's kind of messed up that you have to put your own people down.
Why is that putting them down?
Well, that's the whole question. That's the whole gist of this article is like, okay, where is the racism here?
Known as black people?
Well, see, that's perfect. You're feeding right into this.
Okay, I don't know.
So black is a racist insult now? Sounds like this couple has a bigger issue with their skin color than the waiter who actually apologized for offending the couple and said that the labeling was just a slip up to get orders out during a busy morning. Unfortunately, Dwayne's apology wasn't enough for neither of the couple, so they'll never return to IHOP again, nor IHOP who let Dwayne go shortly after the incident. The restaurant has also released a statement saying, "This was a poor choice made by our franchise team member."
Blah, 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 blah. Stop being faggots, IHOP.
And is not in keeping with the policies and the procedures.
How busy is IHOP at 3:03 on a Monday morning? I'm not buying that. That's a busy time. They said that this was at a busy time.
Well, was it after the bars closed?
It's a Monday.
True. Yeah, I didn't see it was a Monday. Did
Yeah,
it?
I just looked it up on my calendar here.
Okay.
The 29th is a Monday.
Okay, so it wasn't a Friday or Saturday night.
Like a Sunday night going into Monday morning.
Okay.
That's not a busy time.
All right.
All right.
So the franchise continues. We recognize that it could be offensive, and sincerely apologize.
You know what, Nathan from Kentucky, as much as I know you're just trying to be a racist asshole, there's probably truth to this post here. When he wrote black people on the receipt, it really meant you ain't getting no tip.
Well, there's probably and the funny thing is when I read that first part of this article,
right?
That was the first thing that popped into my head.
Yeah, and there's probably some truth to that.
Well, and I'm going to tell a personal story.
Okay.
When I was 16, my first real job in the work world,
right?
I was a busboy for Bob Evans.
Okay.
I don't know if you know where 77 and Arlington Road is.
Yeah, sure.
Well, there's a Bob Evans at the top of the hill.
Yeah, that's what, Cuyahoga Falls, right?
No. It's green.
Green? It's right there.
Yeah. Well, anyway, regardless, before that Bob Evans opened, I got hired like a couple of weeks before it even opened.
Okay.
And I was like one of the first employees that worked there.
Okay.
Well, as with any new restaurant in any area, they're always just slammed. The first couple of months, everybody wants to go to the new restaurant.
Try it out once.
Exactly.
Right. Sure.
So we were very, very busy. And, they sell a lot of the grits and they sell a lot of the, biscuits and gravy and all that kind of stuff.
All the goods.
Sure. Well, Sundays are always particularly a busy day because everybody coming in after church and whatnot. And so we were busting our ass. Well, anyway, it was a 100% female wait staff.
Okay.
This was before they allowed waiters to be a part of the staff. It was always female waitresses.
We call those days the good old days.
Yeah, that was back in the day.
You know what? And then you get on a plane and have a female stewardess, too.
Yeah, it was like that back then, too.
Yeah, wow.
So anyway, because of the lack of tipping among the certain ethnic group.
The Muslims.
Exactly.
Is that what it was? The Muslims? The American Indians?
It was well known among the waitresses that whenever they got a group of the certain ethnics in.
What ethnicity are we talking specifically?
We're talking about the black community here.
Black community? I thought you meant Asians.
Right.
Go ahead.
It was highly probable that there would be no tip. I just saw it for myself.
Right. So
this is just experience. This is not saying all.
Right.
This is just from what I witnessed.
So when they would come in, did you see all the waitresses scatter?
Yes.
So none of them had to sit them down?
Yes.
And try not to get them in
Yes. And and in the back of the kitchen,
yeah,
it was always, oh no, we got a group of Canadians that came in. The Canadians. That was code.
That was the code?
That was the code.
Canadians came in. See, I know that was it wasn't by ethnicity. We just knew which houses. But when I delivered pizza, we knew which houses didn't tip. And you couldn't get anybody to take those pizzas.
Sure.
Those fucking pizzas would get delivered an hour and a half late.
Right.
Because we didn't care. We wanted them to stop ordering.
Sure.
We wanted them to have bad service and cold pizza.
Right.
Because we didn't want to deliver to them because they didn't tip.
And you would not believe that the service that these folks expected.
Oh, yeah.
And the mess, because I had to clean it up.
Right.
The mess they left on the table.
Oh,
it was just freaking unbelievable.
Yeah.
Boy, those waitresses were fuming.
I'll bet.
At the end, once they left and paid their bill, no tip.
Well, don't you think that maybe the problem was, it wasn't really so much that they didn't want to leave a tip, it's just there was so much clutter on the table they couldn't leave a tip? Did you ever think of that?
Well, I worked there for about 2.5 years, and I saw plenty of that going on. So just from personal eyewitness experience, I saw that happening, and when I started reading this article, I thought to myself, this was the tell right here.
Why do you think it is that so many people in that community do not tip?
I don't know the answer.
Just I don't know, but I've got to think that especially when they're young, that the jobs that the young people in the black community work are service jobs, aren't they? Wouldn't they be?
I would imagine.
The waiter being that shit?
You would think.
You would think. So you'd think they would, I over-tip everybody.
Right.
Like literally, and it drives me crazy when I like that one time when I posted my fucking receipt on.
Yeah, and everybody gave you shit because there was $20 written on the receipt, but there was actually cash included with
20
that.
in cash.
Yes, exactly.
Tip 40 on a $200 bill or whatever.
Right.
I overtipped because I worked in that industry, because I did the pizza delivery. And I knew that I would get better service, or, the people that tipped well, I would go out of my way to fucking help.
Sure, because you go there the next time.
Right. And you would think that people would get that fucking, you would think that people would go into a fucking Bob Evans and want good service.
Right.
And not shitty service. And I have to think, yeah, the first time you give the people the benefit of the doubt. The second time they come in, though, you're not refilling a glass of water.
Nope.
Fuck you, pal.
Yep.
I'm going to come to your table 3 times, sit you down, hand you your fucking food, hand you your bill. And that would be it. I wouldn't care how long your fucking coffee wasn't filled. Fuck you.
Right.
You're not going to give me a tip anyway, so eat a bag of cunts. You think of that? New one. Eat a bag of cunts.
Well, that was a pretty frequent, occurrence.
Ugh, terrible.
And those waitresses like, oh, there's a group of Canadians that just walked in.
A group of Canadians.
That's what was said.
You know what's crazy too is how many, and I see this a lot, on ESPN and shit. Athletes seem to be fucking ridiculously bad tippers.
Mm-hmm.
Like LeBron James here in Cleveland is a notoriously awful tipper. I mean, this guy has more money than fucking God. Throw a tip down, dickhead. Doesn't have to be more than, 15% or whatever.
Right.
At least throw the regular
Sure.
number. I mean, what's a good tip? 15, 20, something
15
like that?
is the minimum. 20 is usually a good tip.
Yeah, because I think I usually try to do at least 20 on 100, if not more. Usually more. But, and it just depends. I have a rule. I literally taught my kids the same rule, is that you overtip as long as your cup is full.
Right.
If you got to ask for somebody to give you another drink, then take it out of their tip. But if you don't, if they keep your fucking cup full, fucking tip them the world.
Sure.
Especially in the bar.
Right.
Nothing worse in a bar than when you're sitting there waiting for a drink.
Sure.
But I can't imagine being rude, being a fucking cheap fuck.
Right.
Oh man, and just knowing that people will probably be spitting in your food.
I had a gal who worked for me in my mortgage company at one time,
mm-hmm.
and her parents owned a Mexican restaurant.
Okay.
They owned a franchise.
Right.
And she said that because of the lack of tipping by these groups,
The Canadians?
yes,
Uh-huh.
they put a policy
Mm-hmm.
in place that parties of 8 or more, a gratuity of 15% will be automatically added to the bill.
Yeah.
And these groups would come in and they're 8 and 10 and 12 people.
Right.
And they would add the gratuity to the bill.
Sure.
And they would say, what's this, extra 10 or 15 or $20? And says, well, that's our policy. It's written right here, on the menu or wherever. It says,
Sure.
It says parties of 8 or more, a 15% gratuity will be automatically added to the bill. And
Right.
their answer, well, we weren't having a party.
Fuck you. Doesn't matter if you were having a party.
Well, see, their interpretation was having a party.
Yeah, well, we're going to use the B definition this time. A party being a collection of people.
Right.
More than 2, dick fuck.
Correct.
You're paying it.
So they said that they just got tired of these groups coming in with 8 and 10 people and not leaving a tip.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
So they just added it to the bill and put it as a policy. And, well, we're not having a party.
Yeah, well, stop being such a cheap fuck. That's when the manager just needs to say that. Stop being such a cheap fuck. And say it in those terms. Because you don't want that person back anyway.
Yeah, true. Absolutely.
If you want the truth, you want to be the manager that runs that fucking family out. When somebody doesn't tip and they're habitual non-tippers, you don't want them in your establishment in the first fucking
You're
place.
right.
Because more than likely, they're going to eat 14 fucking buckets of chips, especially in a Mexican restaurant.
Right, exactly.
They're going to eat $6 worth of fucking chips of salsa, And then fucking not leave a tip for the waitress that came back 43 times, filling their fucking fat faces with fucking water. Fuck you. Tip or get the fuck out of here.
Right.
And that's how they should handle it. Get out of here with your cheap ass.
You deadbeat. Get out of here.
Yeah, take a walk.
Sure.
I don't want to be rude, but take a long walk off a short pier.
Yeah, pal.
Yeah.
All right, to finish out the story here. Because Ariana is a former waitress, she felt particularly knowledgeable about Dwayne's so-called wrongdoing, saying, "We either put a number or a color of their shirt, not their skin color."
Okay.
And while I get that it may be a bit of a jarring to see black people on your receipt, as a black person, I'm not offended when people identify me by what I am. Red shirt and baseball cap may be more PC, but in the midst of trying to get out short stacks and eggs to 20 different patrons, I'd likely note the quickest and easiest physical identifier I could on the receipt slip, as well as if it happened to be that the couple was black, and likely the only black patrons. Otherwise, the label wouldn't be very helpful at all. Then I'd probably do the same, because that's what they are.
Hey, let's not be labeling here.
Yeah.
They're just people.
Right. The fact that these two simpletons couldn't look past the opportunity to get a free meal, which is likely all the IHOP offered them, and the chance to get their name in the news, to understand a black man identifying them as black is not racist, nor a put down is shameful.
Right.
The real problem is the media outlets not recognizing these incidences as non-stories. Companies being so fearful of racist backlash that they don't fight for their employees, and the rampant treatment of black as a bad word.
Yeah, I agree with this.
The next time it's a slow news day in Austin, Fox News should talk about that.
Yeah, but they won't.
No, of course not. Why would we talk about such a sensitive, touchy subject?
We only talk about it when it makes white people look bad.
Exactly.
Come on.